Yeah. So while considering all these attributes, being it growth, being it reproduction, being it metabolism, being it the cellular organization, we consider it as a living being. Because if I speak about the individual, like for example growth, what I have observed so far, the other day when I was crossing my street, what I have seen, the heap of garbage, it keep on increasing day by day. So what I have seen is the growth is also there. But shall I consider it as a living being? No.
That's an external growth.
Yeah, the thing is external. By the meantime, I would like to discuss about the non-living things, about movement also. Shall we consider the movement or locomotion as the main attribute for living or non-living?
We can consider living.
We can consider the movement for the living beings?
Because it's involuntary for the non-living.
Involuntary or non-living. So if you say the locomotion or the movement is attribute of living beings, do the plants move? They do. The thing is, they do. They have got a different type of movement. Phototrophic and geotrophic. The thing is, they do not move like us, but they do move towards the resources. For example, the phototrophic movement is a movement towards the sunlight, and the geotrophic is towards the water. The roots move towards the water, and the shoot move towards the sunlight to obtain sunlight for the process of photosynthesis. So, by considering all these attributes, we consider an individual a living. Okay. Okay. Now we shall speak briefly about the living organisms. Okay. So far, from the basic classes, like from 7th, 8th classes, we have heard a term cell as a basic unit of life. Are you aware of this thing? We all consider cell as a basic unit of life. The cell. It must be there in a living organism. Now the living organism, depending upon the type of cell, are categorized into two categories. Before moving into those categories in detail, I would like to speak about cell. Cell is what? Cell is an enclosed body, like this room is. When do we call this room as a room? Once it has the walls around, once it is enclosed in the wall, then only we call it a room. If the walls are not there, we call it a hall. The whole floor will be considered a whole. Similarly, the cell term is used for a defined body. Is used for an enclosed body, which further consists of the protoplasm. Have you heard about Robert Hooke?
Yes.
You did? He was a scientist, and back in 16th century, being specific 1665, what he did, first time he observed the thin slice of cork. Have you heard about cork? What is it?
It's a type of material which is opaque basically, it does not let things pass through.
Basically the cork is obtained from the plant stem, the bark of the plant, and you might have seen it in the shuttle that's made of the cork, and moreover the cap of the vinegar, that is made up of the bark of the tree and considered as cork. What he did is he observed a thin slice of cork under a microscope made by him only. What he has seen is something like this, honeycomb-like structure. जैसे मधुमक्खी का छत्ता नहीं होता, वैसा structure he has seen, and he called it as a cell. He said there is something which is enclosed by a membrane and called them as cell. However, at that particular time, he was not able to define it, whether it is living or dead, although it was a dead cell because it was obtained from the bark of the tree. Later on, I'm not sure about the date when he did the investigative study, he obtained and first observed the living cell from the pond water, and he has seen the movement also. So that was about the cell, जिसने सबसे पहले देखा. ठीक है, अभी उस टाइम पे ये नहीं डिस्कवर हुआ. At that particular time it was not defined कि सेल के अंदर क्या है, what is there in the cell. ठीक है, at that time he only was able to speak about the cell, not about unicellular, not about prokaryote. So when I speak about the cell, prokaryotic or eukaryotic, as I have told you, a cell is an enclosed body. Cell क्या है? एक enclosed body जो membrane के बना होता है. Now the organisms we considered as depending on the number of cells, we consider it as unicellular and multicellular. Now, depending on the number of cells, the organisms are of two types. Unicellular, means those which are made up of single cell only, and multi, those which are made up of many cells. So, कितनी हैरानी की बात है, एक सेल का भी ऑर्गेनिज्म और बहुत सारे सेल्स का भी ऑर्गेनिज्म. जो एक सेल का ऑर्गेनिज्म है, जैसे कि बैक्टीरिया, अमीबा, ठीक है, we are not going into the type of the cell, just on the number of the cell. बैक्टीरिया, अमीबा और मल्टीसेलुलर की बात करूँ तो प्लांट्स, एनिमल एंड अस, हम लोग भी. So इनमें डिफरेंस क्या है? Like you see, we have got a mouth to eat our food. We have got a tummy, the digestive system, the excreta, for respiration we have got lungs. वो बेचारा बैक्टीरिया सब कुछ एक सेल में कर रहा है. Isn't it fascinating? ये exciting है कि वो बेचारा एक सेल में ही कैसे ये सब कर रहा है. उसके पास तो दांत भी नहीं, उसके पास तो respiratory enzymes भी नहीं, वो बेचारा कैसे कर रहा है. This is what which is explained under prokaryote and eukaryote. जो eukaryote हैं, they are mostly multicellular. They are mostly multicellular. Prokaryotes are always unicellular, एक ही cell में. Within the cell, they have got certain mechanism for the like maintaining the basic metabolism, and eukaryote has got